Well, once again, the neighbor's dog snuck in my office. He wants to be with the guys, not the women, but I'm looking at these claws. Good grief. What are you? Are they training you to be a cockfighter, fight the roosters in the arena? Good grief almighty. You tear up my expensive leather chair with those claws, you're going to get it. You know that, don't you? Say goodbye, YouTube. Here. Hey. Say goodbye, YouTube. That's it. Here's a photograph of the 2019 Mitsubishi Outlander I drove about 4 months ago with a base 4-cylinder engine loaded up with lots of goodies. If you want to see how the performance and fuel economy compares to the hybrid Outlander, we'll have a link for this video at the end of the hybrid video. Just click and watch. In the meantime, let's move on to the Mitsubishi hybrid and see what we've got. So here we are at our garage and test facilities. Let's take a close look at this plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Nice looking, but I think it has a lot to do with this metallic gold paint. It's certainly going to do a better job reflecting the sun's rays than that black Outlander I had a few months ago. That thing roasted me alive. So let's take a close look and see how this works. Under the hood you have a 2-liter gasoline engine. You have a 12 kilowatt electrical system somewhere in the middle. And on the front you have electrical drive for the front wheels, electrical drive for the rear wheels, for a total of 190 horsepower. I'm keeping this simple, non-technical stuff. No emails, please. On the left side, you put gasoline down this hole. On the right side, an electrical charge goes in these holes. So this end of the cord plugs inside the vehicle, and this end of the cord plugs into the electrical outlet of your garage, or your neighbor's garage if they're not looking, steal their electricity. And in about 8 hours you'll have a fully charged, or 3.5 if you have a super quick system. I think that's 240 volts instead of 115. Well, I'll have to look that up in the manual. Maybe this is for fast charging. I haven't looked that up yet. But I don't have a fast charger, so I don't care. I'll be using this. Once this is fully charged, you get 22 miles of pure electric driving power. No gasoline, pure electric. You know you've run out of the battery when the gauge tells you so. See? We have 164 miles left on gasoline hybrid, 0 miles on the battery. On the right, the gas gauge, on the left, 0. Once the main battery runs dry, the gasoline engine kicks in, as seen here. Now, unlike conventional vehicles, the gasoline engine is not driving the car through a drive shaft and transmission. The gasoline engine is acting as a generator to charge the battery system, which makes it more of a true electric car. So again, to get away from technical explanations, keep it simple. You have plug-in electricity or gasoline generated electricity. I think that keeps it simple enough. By the way, if you ever have the hood open on your electrical vehicle or hybrid, you really shouldn't. There's no servicing you can do anyway. Do not touch these orange cables. They require special gloves, and if you don't have it, there's about a jillion volts in there. You will fry, and they won't find anything left of you. Don't touch these. Safety tip from me to you. Once you switch over to gasoline generator operation, the EPA says you should be averaging 25 miles to the gallon. We'll be doing some mileage tests in the real world to see if that's true. So don't go away. Now let's go to part 2 of this video and explain how the fuel economy figures work, because that's why you're buying this vehicle, right? So let's say you go to work on a full charge, get your 22 miles to work. You didn't use any gas. And let's say there's a charging station at work. So you drive home at 22 miles. Again, you did a 44-mile round trip, didn't use any fuel. So you do that 5 times a week, that's what, 200 and something miles you use for free, didn't use any gas, right? So the weekend comes up, you take a 100-mile trip on the freeway using 4 gallons of gas for a total of 315 miles. Let's do the math on that. That would be close to around 75 to 80 miles to the gallon, I would think. Or scenario 2. You charge at home, drive to work 22 miles, but they don't have a charging at work. You drive home 22 miles, 44 miles, use a gallon of gas. That's around 44, 45 to the gallon. And scenario number 3. You're going to drive from Los Angeles to New York. Well, no electricity there in the charging outlet, so you're going to get around 25 to the gallon, about what the 4-cylinder Outlander gets non-hybrid, as I'll show you later. Here's the official EPA for this if you're running on the gasoline engine, 25 mpg. And here's the non-hybrid 4-cylinder I drove 4 months ago, averaging 26 mpg. Pretty close to what I got. So if you're buying this PHEV, the key to success is using this and using it often. If you have access to lots of charging stations, you're going to save money. If you don't, you won't. Again, this is the key. If you spend a lot of time running errands around town, 15-20 miles at a hit, and you have a high capacity charger that can run this up in 3.5 hours, you're good to go. Now, if all this technology is exciting you, there are a few disadvantages, and I think we need to show you those right now. Number one of the things that made the Mitsubishi Outlander so popular was its 3-row seating, allowing you to fit up to 7 people inside the vehicle. 3rd-row seating's gone. They had to get rid of it to make room for the electronics underneath the vehicle. So now you have 2 rows. 4 full-size adults, maybe 3 kids in the back for a total of 5. So don't plan on hauling all your relatives around. Number 2, since there wasn't room for a spare seat, there wasn't room for a spare tire either. Not a good idea to get a flat, that's why I have my tire repair kit here, just in case. So even though you do have 4-wheel drive capability and decent ground clearance to go off-road, I wouldn't do it unless you bought a spare tire and tossed it in the back. Next is the price tag. The base 4-cylinder Outlander starts around $24,000. The one I tested a few months ago was loaded up with goodies, was around $30,000. Pardon my shaky hand, I don't have a tripod anymore. By comparison, this plug-in hybrid starts around $37,000. If you get the deluxe model with all this nice leather and stuff, reaching up to 43 grand, wow. In all fairness, last time I checked, there were tax credits for these electric vehicles running $5,000 to $7,000. That takes a lot of bite out of the price. But even then, the base 4-cylinder Outlander is a lot cheaper, especially with the rebates they give at the dealer. A stripper starting around $26,000, they had them on sale for $22,000 at the end of the year sale. Something to keep in mind. And one perceived disadvantage, although not proven yet, weight. The 4-cylinder Outlander weighs around 3,600 pounds. This clocks in around 4,100 pounds. That's a lot of mass, so the question is, how fast is this thing, or how slow? Well, let's find out right now. Keep in mind, this vehicle is not being driven by the engine directly, it's being driven by batteries, which means you're getting maximum torque at all times. So you're taking off a stoplight, you got some good grunt here, far better than the gasoline-only versions. You can feel it in the seat of your pants. Even though the 0 to 60 time won't be that impressive, the throttle response is excellent. When you're scooting around in traffic, lots of torque. very pleasant to drive. And these brakes are perfect. So for acceleration, I give it the full brownie points. Thumbs up. Number 2, with all the mass lower in the vehicle, you get a lower center of gravity, which helps handling. Not a race car, but far more stable than the non-hybrid Outlander. These are soft tires. We will get some wheel spin, but still, the handling is excellent. Another thumbs up, all the brownie points. Number 3, I've noticed the steering response is better on the hybrid Outlander than the non-hybrid. Very nice. A full thumbs up. And number 4, I've noticed that the ride on the hybrid Outlander is far smoother than the non-hybrid Outlander. Don't know why, but we're going to go over some mild speed bumps at 20 miles per hour, as we do in all my videos, to demonstrate this. Bump number 1. Smooth. Heard some thumping from the tires, didn't feel a thing. Bump number 2. Very quiet. Many luxury cars aren't this good. Bump number 3. And the big nasty one. Hang on. Heard some thumping, but absorbed everything very nice. Okay, to sum it up, acceleration, cornering ability, ride comfort, steering feel, braking performance. The hybrid Outlander totally outclasses the non-hybrid, so we're off to a good start here. And as we do in all my videos, we're going to take the headlights out, see how they perform in the dark. We'll do that right now. And before we get out in the dark, let me call your attention to this little knob here on the dash. This is your headlight alignment. Raise, lower. That's right, you can actually align your own headlights. We'll demonstrate this. It's dark enough. Let's take these headlights out and see what they do. Here we have the headlights on the building 100 feet away. As you can see, way too low, but you adjust the alignment knob. Raises up just fine. This adjustment knob is neat. A great idea. Wish more vehicles had this. And now the high beams. Here we have the high beams on the building 300 feet away, with the alignment as high as it will go. Lower the headlights. Raise the headlights back. And there's a low beam. Goes out about 200 feet. About 260 on the right side. Overall, pretty good headlights. No complaints. The adjustability feature is great. I've been driving this car for 3 days. I'm getting around 18 to 19 in heavy city traffic and around 23 to 24 mixed commuting. But that brings us to another disadvantage of the hybrid, and not only do you lose the third row seating and a spare tire, you get a small gas tank. 11 gallons, folks. That's right, 11 gallons. So at 18 mpg, we're not going very far. 25 mpg, a bit further. So we're going to take this out on a freeway test and see what we can get. This is a very comfortable highway cruiser. It's a shame we have such a small gas tank. This would be great for long interstate trips. By the way, this is one of the few hybrids you can actually tow with. Although with a tow capacity of 1,500 pounds, I don't know what you're going to be towing. Maybe a portable hot dog stand. Uh-oh. malfunction. This is one minor complaint I have about this vehicle. If you get a warning, it will not go away. I'm trying to get my fuel economy reset so I can take a quick highway trip and get some readings. And pressing the button and cursing doesn't seem to work. Must be the excessive heat we have outside today. Okay, we finally got the computer reset. We're at the end of our little jaunt. We'll pull over and see what our highway fuel economy was. We're doing around 65 to 70 miles per hour. Well, 26.4, the four-cylinder non-hybrid was around 27 to 29. I figure it's close enough. So what's my take on this Mitsubishi hybrid after a week of driving? Well, it's like this. There is a price difference between this and the regular Outlander with the four-cylinder motor, which is a lot cheaper. Just how much depends on how you do the math. The tax credits on the electric vehicle, the discounts on the non-hybrid, it can vary quite a bit. But you shouldn't really concentrate on the prices. You should concentrate on this. It's very simple. The more you use this, the better value this hybrid electric vehicle will be. The less you use this, the less valuable the hybrid electric will be. In which case you might be better off with the base four-cylinder non-hybrid Outlander. In this case, if you do lots of short 20 to 30 mile daily trips and have access to a lot of charging stations, this might be a good deal. By the way, there's a six-cylinder engine available in the Outlander. If you get that loaded, it's around 36 grand, which is about what you would pay for this hybrid electric after all the tax rebates. So in that case, you might save a lot of money over a non-hybrid Outlander, but only if you're comparing it to the V6. Not so much on the 4. In the meantime, here's a link for the Mitsubishi Outlander non-hybrid four-cylinder test we drove about 4 months ago. Just click on the link and watch. It's been 2 days already. I think it's time you go home. And what is that, drool? You drooled on my leather chair? Okay, video's done. You're going to get it now. Cut, cut, cut. Don't give me that evil look.